Greetings and salutations. I'm Zook, your beautiful bunny boy.
And I'm Kai. Insert clever alliteration here. Thank you, Stoke.
And today we're bringing you a Geeks Anonymous video where we show you how to make a male Viera. That's right, a male Viera using the benchmark tools that were given to us last month. And you can see this character right here looks fairly masculine, and I think a lot of us were disappointed when we all found out that male Viera were not going to be introduced in Shadowbringers. So some of us are kind of pushing the envelope and doing it anyways because we have role-playing plots and we want to explore that avenue. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into character creation, and I'm gonna let Kai here take the mantle a little bit. Enjoy.
So, just because they didn't implement male Viera does not mean that they do not exist, so we are going to make our own.
Because as it says, you know, the setting they do exist. They just are more seclusive and
Yeah.
other lore reasons of why they weren't put in. But uh, Yoshi also said it was mostly um, a budget thing. Is that right?
So the excuse that I've heard has more been that because male Viera haven't shown up in any game ever, Final Fantasy XIV would be the first appearance, and that's actually a lot of pressure, and they would want to make the fans happy. Personally, I think that the concept art they released for Heavensward was fantastic.
Absolutely.
If we had gotten that, it would have been 100% what the fans wanted. Well, okay, 95% of what the fans wanted.
And I'll show a picture of the art right now. And see, this looks amazing. But we're not getting that right now, so we'll have to deal with what we got. This is the benchmark, and let's get right into it.
Okay, so Viera currently looks very. She's a pretty lady, but we need him to be a handsome man. So height doesn't matter. Taller is usually better in Final Fantasy because most of the all of the races, the males are taller than the females.
And generally speaking, in real life too, males tend to be higher. Of course, there's always variation, so you can pick whatever height that you really want, but
Yeah, so height doesn't matter. However, this slider does. We want that all the way down. we need the boobs to go away.
for the first time in my life, I want the boob slider to go smaller than it does.
Yeah, I never thought I'd hear him say that. Okay, our skin color, it kind of matters. And I'll get into that in a little bit because we actually will have to go down here to lip color for that to matter. But let's try to make ourselves a dark-skinned bunny. Let's try to make a dark-skinned bunny. Now, hairstyle. When 5.0 actually drops, they are going to be implementing a system where you can preview hairs you do not have yet. Viera are going to be getting some of the other hairstyles in the game. They haven't told us which ones. So we'll just have to hope that you get the ones you want. In general, for a more masculine hairstyle, most people go with the shorter options. However, as long as it doesn't have bang, it can be passable. It's going to be a more feminine man, yes, because the long hair is associated with females, but it's a fantasy game. Who cares? So.
And I mean, even in real life, I'm a male that rocks long hair, so.
Yeah, I think your hair's longer than
Yeah, a little bit.
a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
But I'm fairly confident that they're gonna have the default hairstyles in the game too, that we'll have access to once the expansion actually drops.
Okay. So now we have our hair color. This is also a little important, and I'll go into this a little more later. For now, let's rock the black hair because I think that looks cool. Well, what color do you think? Purple. Let's go with purple.
Sure.
Oh, I'm winging it here, okay? Okay, the face. We have 4 options here. You don't want face 1. Every eye option for face 1 has really exaggerated eyelashes, so it makes it far more feminine than we want. Let me see. We'll go with face 2 right now. Right now you can tell the facial options. They do have the eyeliner selected, so we'll get to that. Jaw. This one doesn't matter too much. 2 or 3 are better ones. It makes the face narrower and longer, which
something a little bit more square would probably be best for as square as it can be with the options that we have. That is
right. And as you can tell, the options we have aren't very very square at all. But the Japanese game. Okay. I'm actually going to jump ahead and deselect the eyeliner because it's going to drive me insane. Eye shape. Through the faces, eye shape 1, 2, and 5 tend to work better. 3 and 4 tend to have the eyes are bigger, which they don't tend to work well. But for face 2, type 3 does actually work well enough for what we want. So let's move on. The iris size doesn't really matter a whole lot. We'll go with a small one. I normally like the big one, but we'll go with purple to match the hair.
Of course, bigger eyes can also lead to a more innocent look, which, I mean, could be portrayed a little bit as more feminine, so smaller eyes might give it a more masculine feature.
Yep. So, now we have our eyebrows, and this is when we start to get into what can really make a character masculine.
Very defining features. That's pretty much what really brought out the one that I had.
Yep. So, you want thicker eyebrows. For the faces 1, 2, and 4 are good options. 3 and 5 are too thin for what we're looking for. I mean, 5 could work, but you really want thicker eyebrows to make them more noticeable. Noses. I mean, you want to look for the straighter nose option. I mean, Viera don't have that much in the way of curving. Well, type 4 is a lot. But this is really up to personal preference and doesn't make a whole lot of difference in the overall face structure. Mouth. You have to go with option 3.
Pretty much have to, yeah. All of the other ones are very poofy, very Vogue sort of, model posing lips, so 3's kind of your only option.
Yep. Lip color. This is important. Normally, you can get away with none. If you really want to. However, I have found that it's much more effective to find a shade that matches the skin color as good as possible. You are going to get some gloss due to the lip color glossing, but when you're in alternate lighting, you can't really tell a whole lot.
And I mean, honestly, if you're having questions on the lighting, you can always just switch the background, just like the regular character creation, to see if it really works. See, like if you look there, that matches pretty well.
Yeah. So you might have to play around with it, whether you need it dark, if you need it light, and you might have to play with the skin tone just a little bit to get it to match. But I apparently picked a really good one here. Purely on accident. So
some of the best things are on accident.
Yeah. Okay. Next, your ear shape doesn't matter over much. It really doesn't. This is another personal preference one, but personally, I think the lobby ears they look a little silly.
Yeah.
So
I actually like the first ones. The first ones don't look too bad.
yeah, no,
But
I love those
the
ones.
one that I chose is definitely the tallest one, which I believe is the last one, or
Nope,
those ones.
the tallest one. So there are two that stick straight up. One has the tufties on the top of the ears. The others are straight up, and they have the clean edges. So we'll go with those ones. I love the tufty ones myself, but for the purpose of this video, we'll go with this. So ear length, it doesn't really matter, but anything to make your character seem taller is usually a good idea. So facial features. You absolutely do not want either one of these eye options checked. Eyeliner and eyelashes will accentuate the eyes and just make it more feminine. At the moment, we have a fairly handsome-looking lad in the works. We do, however, want this one.
Of course, having it zoomed in is a lot better because then you're not looking at the breasts and kind of seeing that. And when you get a close up like this, you can see it has that more masculine tone.
Yep. So you absolutely want the first one selected. It will help thicken up the eyebrows, and it will help give you that masculine edge that you need to make this character work.
It really makes it drive home.
Yep. This is optional. I'm not going to select it because it doesn't match our hair, because I'm petty that way. Tattoos, completely up to you. With phase 2, this one's a good one because a lot of people associate these markings with the male Mikote. So it can help with the illusion that you are a male character because we have it associated with the males of a different race in the game.
I hadn't thought about that. That's a very good point.
Yep. So we'll go with that one. Face paint. This is optional as well. So if you have a darker hair color like this, it can be helpful to select that and darken it up. It can help darken up the eyelashes if you pick eyelashes that aren't option 4, apparently. But we can give our boy freckles, which is always a plus. So I think we're going to do that. We'll lighten those up just a little bit. They're very subtle freckles. Now, voices. There's only 2 I have found that can pass for masculine. The others are very feminine.
That is a very feminine one, as you can hear.
Yeah. So we have option 3.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I chose, and it's got this very deep sound, and I really like that for the more masculine tone.
Yeah, and option 12 is another one. Those are really the only 2 that aren't overly feminine, as far as I'm aware. This can be up to personal preference, so it's really up to what you think sounds best.
Yeah, that one's not bad. That's not my personal preference. I like the first one that we showed, but it's definitely it's nice that there are more than one like masculine option for the voices at least.
Okay, so we have our potential bunny boy. We're going to save his appearance data here.
Now, also outfit will definitely drive it home. Like as you can see here, this does this outfit doesn't accentuate the breast as much, and it really blends in. The more you're gonna want to avoid anything with midriffs, cleavage, anything like that. So there are several sets that like more bulkier armor and things like that will be very good to drive home the more masculine feel. But there are a lot of there's an unfortunate amount of armor that is more revealing on a female character. Like, for instance, my personal favorite on my main character, who is a dragoon, the Draken armor. On females, it has the old midriff, which I really wish they didn't do, or at least let you had the option to kind of switch it. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And there are a lot of armors that kind of do that. So the best thing to do would just be to kind of toy around with pre-existing female models and see what works well for you.
Yeah. So this is a no. This is a no. It accentuates the boobs and the cleavage. It even has a boob window. We don't want that. This one would work well. You're going to want to look for armored pieces. There are some cloth tops that also work well because they're the same for males and females. They don't overly accentuate. This would work well because it's the same outfit for males and females. So here we have male Viera that looks like he just came from the Azim step.
Yeah, not bad. Let's play the actual benchmark. I'll take some clips out of it and show you how it looks.
Okay.
Okay, and now to show you what I did for my character that I'm going to be playing. This actually all started off with um, me and Kai wanting to make two siblings for a character. She wanted to make a female Viera, and I wanted to, of course, make a male Viera for her basically big brother for a story arc that we want to do. We were really looking forward to Shadowbringers coming out, getting both genders, but unfortunately that's not the case, as we stated before. So I played around with some stuff, and I came up with this character, and I really like the way he looks. And I posted on social media, and a couple of quite a few people actually have asked me how I did it, what choices I chose. So I'm just going to run through that real quick, show you what I did. There are only so many options that we have to choose from, so I'm just going to go through this real quick and show you what I did for it. As you can see, I chose maximum height on here, minimum bust. I chose a lighter skin tone, which is down here a little bit, give him more of a fair skin tone. For the hairstyles, I chose the shortest one that you could to give it more of a boyish look. I liked the little kind of Jedi braid that he has, but if you wanted a different one, you could go with something like this. There are a couple other options that might be more masculine. I mean, this could be a very fabulous man if you wanted to go that route, but I mean, for the most part, I like the shorter ones. And once Shadowbringers actually releases, we'll get something. Hopefully, they'll more than likely they'll have something more suitable with what we already have. I went with a more dark tone for the hair color, as you can see here, just a standard brown. For the face, I chose the fourth one. The jaw, I chose, out of the three, I chose the more angular one. So it kind of jumped out more as a masculine choice. For eye shape, out of the ones that we have, I chose type 5. Iris size, you can do small or large, doesn't really matter here. Eye color, we went with green because that's what his little sister's eyes are, so he's matching that. Eyebrows, as you can see, you can kind of get away with any of them here, but we chose type 1. For the nose, you can see we chose type 5. It gives it kind of more of a straight sort of nose. I think it's the most masculine of them. The bridge itself is more pronounced than some of the other styles. For the mouth, type 3, like Kai said, it's pretty much your only option here. The others are very vogue. They're very, I mean, I guess if you're going for like the smolder effect, you could go with some of the other ones, but personally, I like type 3 the best. Lip color, we went with a tone that really kind of matched the skin color. The ear shape, once again, that doesn't really matter. But I went with the tall, bushy one because it's cute. I went with longest ear length. I did opt for the jewel as well as a matching sort of tattoo for the facial features. We went with a purple to match the gem. Face paint, we opted for the eyebrows, of course. It gives you the more masculine, thick eyebrow look, and just make sure you do the paint color to match your hair, otherwise you'll get a very bizarre effect. And for voice, I chose voice 3, because it, to me, sounds the more like Japanese anime, Japanese JRPG sort of male voice. So yeah, that's my male Viera, my take on it. I hope this helped in your endeavor to make a male Viera, and maybe we can show them that this is something we really want, and something we'll see in the future. I'd like to take a moment to thank Kai for joining me on this adventure and helping me make this character. And any last words? Well said. Thanks for joining me, sweetie. I love you.
I love you too.
Alright, so I'm just gonna let the benchmark play. I'll put little snippets here and there with close-ups of this character, and I hope you enjoy. Until next time, toodaloo.